This video goes over Unit 2, Section 4, Part 1, Part 2, in the sense that we're going to do 5, 6, 7, 8 in this video. I'm going to keep the microphone to my mouth because I'm still working at night and my daughter and wife are asleep, so I don't want to wake them up. But I'll keep the microphone here so that way there's no loud and then soft and then loud and then soft. So we have negative 1/8. Negative 1/8. Negative 1/8 is written like this. Of is times, and actually before we go on, I'm going to have you go back and go to multiply, and we're going to add the word of. Because when we multiply, when we write of, we mean a product of two things. We're multiplying two things. So if I go here to my cheat sheet, I'm actually also going to do, notice the word of here, it's in everything, but if you see that word of, you also multiply, you're multiplying two things. Okay, so 1/8 of a number, okay, let's call that number x, is, if I remember from my cheat sheet, is equals negative 3. Okay, and now we actually have to solve this, so the way we're going to solve this is we're going to go ahead and multiply both sides by negative 1/8. So, times the reciprocal of negative 1/8. So times negative 8 on both sides. And what we end up getting is x equals positive 24. The reason I multiplied here is because this 1/8 is actually division. And if I'm going to do the opposite to solve them, if I want to do the opposite, I need to multiply. Multiply by what I divided. 6. A says a number is divided by 4 and the quotient is added to 3. Okay, let's start at the beginning. A number, which is going to be x, is, okay, but this isn't an equal sign because it says a number is divided by 4. So a number is divided by 4. Well, the way I write division is I'm going to just put that vinculum divided by 4, the fraction bar, and the quotient, well, this is a weird kind of way of writing it, but the quotient, this is the quotient, so we're good here. But it says this quotient is added to 3. So what it means here is that this is added, means that we had two things being added together. One of them was a quotient, and the other was 3. So I kind of tried to color code everything that was going on here. So it says a number is divided by 4, and the quotient, that quotient is added to 3. Now the result is 24. So the result is 24. Result means that we have an equal sign. So let's go back to is and equals. Let's go and throw this word down here. The result. Okay, just so we add on to our dictionary of different ways to say the same thing. Alright, and now we have to solve that. The way I would solve this, I'm going to go to a new page here. The way I would solve this is I would do x over 4 plus 3 equals 24. I need to do GEMS, the order of operations, backwards. So usually I do addition, usually do division and multiplication first, and then addition, subtraction last. Here I'm working backwards. I do the subtraction first. And I get x over 4 equals 21. And if it didn't make sense in the last one, I'm going to rewrite this quickly as x divided by 4 equals 21. And what I want to do is I actually want to multiply by 4. So I want to multiply by 4 on both sides. So multiplying by 4 and multiplying by 4 means I'm going to get x is equal to 21 times 4, I believe is 84. You can check me on that, but this would be my answer. When I divide by 4 and multiply by 4, those go away and I'm just left with an x. Let's go to the next one. It says 5 times the sum of a number. Oh, I love the sum terms. Because when I see the word sum, that means I am adding. two things. Now it says 5 times. Okay, let's go with 5 times here. Now it says the sum of a number and 3. Well, the number is here is x, and 3. These are the two things that we're adding. But when it says 5 times the sum, what we need to do, it didn't say 5 just times x. It said 5 times x and 3, 5 times the sum. So we put the parentheses here. So 5 times the sum of a number and 3 is going to be both parts. Then it says is the same as. Is the same as is going to be an equal sign. And it says 3, 3 multiplied by 1 less. Here, well, let's do 3 times. I'm going to also put a times here, by the way, for the 5. 3 times 1 less than twice the number. Okay, so 1 less than twice the number. We can do this. Less than. Less than means that we are subtracting 2 things. And we're going to put parentheses around this because 3 has to be multiplied by both of these things. So 1 less than. Oh, that 1 less than we actually know about. That 1 less than. That 1 has to go here. It's backwards. We have to change the order. Then twice the number. Twice is a fancy way of saying 2 times, and there were a lot of colors for this one. This one was the most complicated one I've seen. Twice the number. So we'll rewrite all of that, taking out the colors. We have 5x plus 3 equals 3 times 2x minus 1. And we're going to solve that. And the way we would solve that is going to be 5x plus 15 equals 6x minus 3. This was the distributive property here where I multiplied 3 times 2x, and I multiplied 3 times negative 1, multiplied 5 times x and 5 times 3, and then I'm going to try to get everything on one side of the equation. I subtract the 5x. I always subtract the smaller x so I don't have to get any negatives if I can avoid it. X minus 3. I'm going to add 3 to both sides because I'm undoing that order of operations, which is going to be 18 equals x, or x equals 18. The exadoodles. Okay, the last one is find 3 consecutive integers whose sum is 117. Okay, so I did this before, and I kind of guessed my way through this, and you'll always be able to guess your way through these if you need to. This last one has 2 parts to it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear the page here. Duplicate and clear. First sentence. 3 consecutive. Well, if I have 3 consecutive, I need the first number. I need the second number, which remember is 1 more than the first one. So 1 more than. Then I need the third number, which is going to be x plus 1 plus 1, which is x plus 2. So this is x plus 2. It's 2 added on to that first number. Again, you could guess. Now, what is going on between these 3 numbers? I have to add. I'm adding all these up. Notice that is here is going to be equals, and that's supposed to equal 117. That's my first equation. Let's solve that one. I'm going to rewrite this again as x plus 1 plus x plus 2 equals 117. I need to combine like terms here. I have 3 x's that I can combine. So that gives me 3x. I have 2 numbers that I can combine. So plus 1 and plus 2 is plus 3. the equals 117 doesn't change. And then I do my order of operations backwards, where I need to get a minus 3 on first before I divide by 3 afterwards. Which means that x is going to equal 28. I think. It may not be 28. I think it's 28. Which means my first number then, that means my first number is 28. My second number is going to be 1 more than that, so it's going to be 29. My third number is going to be 2 more than the original, which is going to be 30. And if I add all these up, I should get 117. If I don't, I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry because it's actually 38. So Mr. Lakin made a mistake. Thank you for catching it if you saw that. It should be 38, it should be 39, and it should be 40. And if I add those up, I'll get 117. Oi, oi, oi. Alright, now that was just the first half. Now we're going to erase all this and we have to do the second part of the problem. So it's a long problem. Okay, but I did do all the work for the first half though, so that's good. So for the second half, it says the difference of two numbers. Find two different consecutive numbers whose sum is 115. So this one I'm going to use y's. Two different consecutive numbers. I'm going to erase this top part. Okay, whose sum, I'm going to add them up, is 115. And these two different consecutive integers, well, I don't really know what they are, so I'm going to use y. And since they're consecutive, I'm going to do y plus 1, because the second number is 1 more than the first one. And that's it. I just need to solve this now. I'm going to rewrite this without all the colors. So 2y plus 1 equals 115. I'm going to go ahead and do order of operations backwards. I'm going to subtract 1 and subtract 1. And I'm going to get 114 equals 2y. And I could be wrong, but I really hope I'm not. When I divide by 2 on both sides, I end up getting 57. Which means my first number is 57. And 1 more than that is 58. And you'll notice here that I have 5 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's where it said add these 5 numbers together. Oh, who made this problem? Someone is just trying to be mean, just mean. So now let's add these up. I'm going to do 40 times 3 minus 2 minus 3 plus 60 times 2 minus 4. Let's see, so 120 plus 120 minus 7. I'm going to get 233, I think, is the answer. I used some shortcuts, which you can ask your teacher about as to why I did that. Let's see, 117, 174, and uh-oh, did I make a mistake again? Oh no! It was supposed to be a minus 5, not a minus 4. And that minus 5 means that it's a minus 8 here, which means it's 232. That looks better. Thanks for watching, guys.